welcome to Newshour with me, Asmiba. Coming up in this edition of Newshour, President Bio commissions road projects at Lumley and Regent. Parliamentary debate on the 2019 budget commences. SLBC looks at water scarcity in the central business districts, and Rainbow Center open in McKinney to help address mainly sexual abuse cases in that part of the country. All these stories and more, including business and sports. President Julius Maada has commissioned a two-lane Wallace-Johnson Bridge construction project between Lumley and Juba and the rehabilitation of Limcoqueen to Regents Road projects, where the groundbreaking ceremony is in fulfillment of commitment to infrastructural development. Hawa Mose was there and she saw it all.
The two-lane Wallace-Johnson Bridge and rehabilitation of Limcoqueen Regents Road project, when completed, will ease traffic congestion in the city. During his presidential campaign, President Bill promised that his government will deliver in the areas of education, health, agriculture, water and sanitation, and infrastructural development. President Bill said the Juba Bridge was a necessity that will reduce the heavy traffic between Lumley and Juba. He disclosed that the projects will not add any debt burden on the country and that his government was ready to provide effective monitoring to ensure that the project is completed within the stipulated time frame. The project, President Bill noted, is of importance because it will not only ease the burden of traffic but will also unlock the tremendous potentials of the city and will make Lumley and beyond accessible to people.
The traffic congestion is not good for our health, not good for our children in educational institutions, not good for mothers trying to access medical services, not good for businesses and economic investment potential, especially in tourism, and not good for our health and our environment. This second Juba Bridge is therefore a necessity. Therefore, we are building it, and we are building it in quick time.
At the road launching at Regent, President will express his appreciation to the Chinese government for their support to the country. He said whenever he promised, he delivers. He said the people of Regent deserve a road that is paved and well constructed.
We believe that the people of Regent and surrounding areas deserve safe and timely access to services, jobs, schools, hospitals, etc. We believe that the people of Regent and surrounding areas deserve to have their area opened up for great potential investments. As I said earlier, it is primarily about making Regent and surrounding areas and our city in general safe, conducive and accessible for businesses and for our citizens.
On both occasions, Chinese ambassador to Sierra Leone, Wu Peng, said that the Chinese government was committed to the development process in the country. He said the two countries have enjoyed a relationship of mutual benefits. He disclosed that both projects are a collaboration between the governments of China and Sierra Leone. Ambassador Peng highlighted that he was pleased with the president's commitment to delivering on his promises.
But, this road is special because the geographical conditions are a little bit complicated. And the people living here are a little bit density. So a lot of challenge. We still work together. Meanwhile, CCECC deeply understands that the success of this project comes for the full support of Sierra Leone government, and therefore CCECC hopes that issue like demolish the tax waivers and the relocation of the pipes could be solved timely so that we can follow the direction of His Excellency the President. We finish this project timely and with high quality.
The Minister of Works and Public Assets, Raymond D'Souza George, informed the gathering that before the commissioning of the project, a survey was conducted by a team of experts to get first-hand information. Director General of the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, Amara Kane, stated that his institution is responsible to supervise road construction and rehabilitation. They will ensure that the projects are completed within the stipulated time. Chairman, Presidential Initiative on Infrastructure, Dr. John Tambi, commended the People's Republic of China, Sierra Leone Roads Authority, and the Ministry of Works and Public Assets for their respective roles in making the projects a reality, and called on the community people to support the project. The projects are jointly funded by the People's Republic of China and the government of Sierra Leone. SABC TV News are in Freetown. Hawa Mosiri reporting.
Water scarcity in Freetown for the past few days has become a concern to many citizens as some houses have gone without taps not running. Well, this has led citizens calling on the Guma Valley Water Company to take urgent actions as water has no substitute. Zulayatu Hamid and Lima Macaulay assess the situation in the central business districts.
The dam at Faulkner Street, Congo Town, which supplies water to the central business district, is a faulty one, as one of its valves is broken and needs to be repaired or replaced.
3 weeks now, no water.
Speaking to a resident of Government Wharf, Shuaibu Kamara, he said there has been no supply of water for 2 weeks and he has run at a loss as he sells ice cubes for a living. Mariam Fofana, a resident also of Government Wharf, said they have to buy water at 1,000 leones per bucket and transport it from Susan's Bay. She called on government to come to their aid as she can no longer remember the last time she had water from the community tap.
Water business now it's ganga. Right now for long water now no easy. Right.
The water supply here is terrible and it has taken 2 weeks with no water. We have to go to the Susan's Bay and hire keke to transport the water. As a businesswoman who sells food, the days I don't have water, I cannot sell food. I am begging the government to come to our aid and provide water for us.
They tell Papa government say they are helping for this water issue here.
Chief Engineer Guma Valley Water Company Prince Mosori has said the short supply of water during the past few weeks was as a result of the damaged valve. He stated that overpopulation is one of the reasons why water has been an issue as they have to ration the flow of water in communities.
It's as a result of a fault we developed in one of our systems on the night of Sunday, the 11th of November this year. One of our valves on the transmission lines became faulty, and so in doing our routine operations we detected that we cannot operate it. The device that we were operating is not something that we should be operating every often, but because of scarcity and overpopulation we do some rationing from time to time, and this is done right across the city from the west up to the eastern of Freetown.
Prince Mosori said the valve, which is defective, has been used for 20 years and its replacement will take between 10 and 16 hours. He stated effective plans are being put in place to solve the problem and pleaded to the government to support the institution as bringing water to the city is a very daunting task.
The United Nations Development Programme UNDP has supported the National Civil Registration Authority with 24 motorbikes worth over 40,000 United States dollars. This is to help cushion the mobility need of the authority. Patrick Salia has a story.
The National Civil Registration Authority has the mandate to ensure that everyone living in this country is accounted for. And that is the very reason the United Nations Development Programme has recognized the fact that For the authority to be effective and efficient, capacity building is key. The provision of these motorbikes will go a long way in addressing mobility challenges the authority is facing, even though more is needed. Director General of the National Civil Registration Authority, Mohammed Massakoy, said when he assumed office in July, one of the critical challenges he realized was accessibility of data, especially in remote communities, on which they engaged the UNDP, and the provision of these bikes is the outcome of that initial request.
As you are aware, the NCRA is now functional, fully functional in all 16 political and administrative districts in this country, including Karine, Calabar, and Pont Island. And so we agreed that we will support all district offices with motorbikes, and then we are here today to receive them formally.
He promised that these bikes will be used for the intended purpose. Representing UNDP, Mohamed Alpha Conte, Program Associate Governance Unit UNDP, said this is one of the many interventions of the UNDP as they are aware of government's priorities and that having accurate biodata of every Sierra Leonean is key. Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs Lai Lawrence Lima thanked the United Nations Development Programme for the donation, especially at this time that NCRA is in dire need of mobility to be able to access hard-to-reach communities to disseminate and gather relevant information for record purpose.
Because the problem normally with governments or people maintaining government properties has been the issue also. We would ensure that the motorbikes, 24 motorbikes that we have handed over to the National Civil Registration will not only be used for its intended purpose, but a proper care will be taken.
Symbolic handing over of one of the keys by the UNDP representative to the Director General NCRA formed the high point of the ceremony.
A Rainbow Center has been opened in Makeni as an expansion to help address some of the challenges women and girls are facing in that part of the country, especially that could be life-threatening. According to the Rainbow Center, over 2,000 sexual assault cases have been recorded so far this year in the country. Rose Kolima Stevens reports.
The Ministry of Health and Sanitation, the health team in Bombali district, the Ministry of Social Welfare, all other partners, launching the Rainbow Center of Makini, and I'm pleased to quote this stick on behalf of all our partners.
The Rainbow Center has been launched in Makeni. The establishment will provide life-saving services for gender-based violence survivors, not only in Makeni but also the country as a whole. The center, according to the Executive Director, Rainbow Center, Daniel Keto, has serviced 2,118 sexual assault cases. Among them, 436 were pregnant, some tested HIV positive, and over 1,800 cases with other sexually transmitted infections. Mr. Keto informed the gathering that 90% of those cases are children between 18 and 16 years, noting that it is challenging as very little is reported about the menace that is very common in most communities. He reiterated that there is need to openly talk about violence against women and girls, especially the root cause and consequences that needs to be reported and actions taken against perpetrators. These officials gathered here are partners that want to ensure that significant impact is made to stop violence against women and girls in the country. Each representative here has a role to play in the fight against sexual gender-based violence. They noted that people should stop making excuses for perpetrators and ensure that they are held accountable for their actions, as the menace is spreading like a disease and the stigma associated with rape can destroy families, break down society, leaves unwanted children, among others. Rainbow Initiative is a unique organization in Sierra Leone that provides free quality medical treatment and psychosocial services for victims of gender-based violence, particularly women and girls. The need for government's support and other well-meaning Sierra Leoneans is of great essence, they opined. The Rainbow Center started in 2003 and has transformed into a reliable and credible service provider that has supported over 30,000 survivors of gender-based violence. The center is located in Kono, Kenema, Freetown, and now in Bo and Makeni. SLBC News, Rose Konima Stevens.
The debate on the 2019 appropriation bill by members of parliament has begun. Well, the debate was postponed twice this week, and without the approval of the House of Parliament, the executive arm of government will be unable to expend government's money from the consolidated fund. Patrick Salia has been following some of the key highlights of Wednesday's debates.
Acting leader and head of government business Honorable Matthew Numa moved the motion and was later adopted by the House for the 5 allotted days to be reduced to 4, including Monday because of the likelihood of Tuesday being a public holiday. Acting opposition leader Honorable Ibrahim Ben Kagbo requested that those responsible for the financial management of the state should be present throughout the debate to listen and subsequently address the issues. Chairman on the Committee of Finance, SLPP's Honorable Francis Kaisamba, noted that the budget is people-centered and friendly, while Honorable Lahai Mara of the opposition APC, on the contrary, said the budget is dishonest, referencing paragraph 117, page 35, adding that the projection given 2.07% is based on the 2017 budget. Honorable Lahai Mara called for the documents to be returned and corrected. The Speaker referred to Honorable Mara's statement as an opinion which he said is free from the facts. But to justify that his statement is a fact and not an opinion, Honorable Mara referenced the same budget profile number 2, which addressed, among other things, the issue of employment and leave allowances, noting it to be unclear. The Speaker further requested him to adduce enough facts before the end of the debate to substantiate such an expression. After a prolonged argument to justify the expression criminal budget, Honorable Mara was forced to withdraw, which he did before the House moved for the second recess. Honorable Usman Abdul Timbo implored the government to be more concerned and be serious about the agric and tourism sectors as a way to diversify the economy. But his colleague Honorable Musa Peter Moigua on the governing side noted that because the government of President Bio is serious about the tourism sector, the 2019 allocation for the tourism sector is 0.5% of the national budget compared to 0.2% in 2017. On revenue collection, he added, government is serious as 2019 is projected to raise 15.6% from the previous revenue of 14.4%, hoping that by 2020, Sierra Leone will surpass the ECOWAS standard. The Speaker, however, praised the output of MPs, whom he said are helping to deepen democratic good governance. Earlier, Parliament approved 3 commissioners of the Independent Media Commission, 1 board member of the Electricity Generation and Transmission Company EGTC, substantive ombudsman, and board chairman of the Tertiary Education Commission, adding to the list of recent presidential nominees.
Over 180 pupils sit under trees to access education at the Islamic Call Society Primary, Petewoma, Small Bo Chiefdom, Kenema districts. A heavy storm recently unroofed the school, building which has made learning very difficult for the pupils. Honorable Musa Peter Moigwa has now promised to build the school, as education is the flagship program of the New Direction agenda. Rose Konima Stevens has the details.
The Islamic Call Society Primary School was established in 2001 after the community people changed it from a Catholic school of People Educational Association. It is over a month now after a heavy wind blew the roof over the school. These pupils are left with no option but to sit under trees to acquire education. Their school ends whenever it rains, a community elder lamented. James Kamanda is one of the teachers. He said the school has 3 approved teachers from another school, and the other 3 teachers get stipend from the community since the school is not approved, less to talk of government's subvention. Honorable Member of Parliament for Constituency 011, Musa Peter Moigwa, is their representative. He informed the people that his government loves education, and that's the more reason they introduced the free quality education for Sierra Leonean children, and therefore promised to build the school with a 130 million leones project. He furthered that the 130 million leones will construct a 3 classrooms, an office, and a store that will address the educational aspects in Kweteroma village and enable children in the nearby communities access free quality education. Constituency Chairman APC Joseph Mansfield expressed appreciation to Honorable Musa Moigua and the team, noting that the government is about bringing development to their community that will enhance national cohesion and effective development. He assured all of his unflinching support. These community people are happy over the good news of rebuilding their school that will enable their children move from sitting in the sun to acquire education, and expressed appreciation to their Member of Parliament for the timely intervention. SLBC News, Rose Konima Stevens.
Street Child of Sierra Leone has given business grants to 450 households who are mudslide victims. The victims are from Mosome, Kaningo, and Juba. Soiba Samu has more.
Some victims received average of 700,000 leones, and while some others received up to 900,000 leones, all drawn from not only but including Ja Kingdom, Kamayama communities. The Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs acknowledged the efforts made by Street Child of Sierra Leone towards helping the victims of the twin disasters in August 17, 2017. Senior Social Services Officer Elizabeth Rose Ansumana, however, encouraged the recipients to use this opportunity to help upkeep their well-being, adding that the opportunity will not come anytime soon after. Head of Program Street Child of Sierra Leone, Sia Lajaku Williams, said her organization's quest of caring for vulnerable people goes beyond children.
So earlier this year in February, we provided support to some families, and then also in June, all these 450 families you're seeing here today, we provided them with education material support, which included 2 sets of uniforms, school bags, exercise books, and some pencils, pens. All these families benefited from that. And following that, our business officers had worked with these families to identify their livelihood activities, and then they have done their own assessments with them.
She recalled when the twin disasters struck and Street Child, in collaboration with Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, gave food and non-food items to the victims of not only Motome, Kaningo or Juba, but also supported victims in the east end of Freetown. Community stakeholders in the different communities, including Chief Kebe Conte of Kaningo community, all recognized the continued assistance of the flood victims by Street Child and the Ministry of Social Welfare. Soriba Samura, SLBC News, Freetown.
Produce Monitoring Board (PMB) has disclosed that conduct of the 2018 Quality Produce Fair will be held in Kenema from the 12th to the 16th of December 2018. According to the Executive Chairman, Produce Monitoring Board, Dr. James Vibi, the fair is to add value to quality of produce from Sierra Leone. Auna Pati Kamara was there and sends these reports.
Quality Produce Fair was held in 2017 to encourage farmers keep to the quality of produce they have been producing and exporting, which led Sierra Leone now placed among the winners of the International Cocoa Fair in France last year. The Executive Chairman, Produce Monitoring Board, James Vibi, said the board is charged with the responsibility to monitor the production, quality and marketing of all produce in the country. He said the press conference is to inform the public about the 2018 Quality Produce Fair to be held in Kenema.
To you that on the 12th of December to the 16th of December, we are going to have a Quality Produce Fair in Kenema, which we attract farmers, dealers, agents, exporters,
and also other stakeholders in the value chain production.
He said the fair over the years, except last year, is being managed by the Ministry of Agriculture, but since last year, the Produce Monitoring Board has been taking the lead. Dr. VB said over the years, the board has been supporting cash crops farmers in the areas of underbrushing, pruning, and replacement of crops on their farms to maintain quality. The Operations Director, Produce Monitoring Board, Didan Sankor, said the fair is to add value to the quality of produce to meet international standards. He called on farmers to make use of the fair to showcase their produce for the attraction of the international market. The Produce Monitoring Board has been working with 4 farmer cooperatives and encourage other farmers to form themselves into cooperatives to take part in this year's Quality Produce Fair.
Well, there have been some developments in the world of tennis. What is happening there? I am being joined by Esther Marie Samora, who is the sports presenter tonight. Welcome, Esther.
Thank you very much. And for our sports updates tonight, Level 1 Lawn Tennis Coaching Course organized by the Sierra Leone Lawn Tennis Association in collaboration with the National Olympic Committee is ongoing at the Siaka Stevens Stadium, a tennis court in Freetown. The tennis coaches across the country are participating in the training course. Here is a report. The International Tennis Federation Olympic Solidarity sponsored Level 1 coaching course started a week ago, with tennis beginners and intermediate coaches being trained by an expert from the International Tennis Federation, Noah Bukari. 24 participants from across the country, including physical health education teachers, are part of the coaching course. The coaches are expected to train tennis players in schools and communities. Amidou Doumbia, lawn tennis local expert, has been talking more on the coaching course.
Well, this course is very important for our coaches because after the training, these coaches will go to the schools and try to train our junior players from different clubs, from the schools, and even the guys that came from our country. After the coaching course, they go back to the clubs and schools and train young players.
Tennis can be played at all levels of society and by all ages. Some of the participants have committed themselves to implementing what they've learned in the schools.
I've learned a lot, especially in the area of the play and stay. The play and stay is basically how to coach kids, and coaching kids is very, very important. If we want the game to be replicated into the schools or tennis to be known in Sierra Leone, it's good for us to target the youth. And so basically this play and stay has helped me a lot. I hope I will go and do it. I will go and teach the pupils or the children in the schools.
I have to implement it in schools. I have to go to different schools to talk to the head teachers, neither the principals, to come on board to give us players so that we can grow tennis in Sierra Leone.
I've learned so much here through my tutor, Coach Noah. I've experienced a great how to learn the beginners and intermediate players, which I know I have to implement it to the primary schools and secondary schools level so that the tennis can grow in Sierra Leone.
The coaching course has the physical and theoretical aspects and is expected to end on the 18th November this year. Esther Marie Samora, SLBC TV. That's all for sports tonight. Many thanks for watching. Over to you, Asmin.
Thank you very much, Esther Marie Samora, for that piece in the world of tennis. Well, let's now go to entertainment as we join our entertainment desk. The rural entertainment icons and the Waterloo Union have held a Unity Consultative Conference at the Med Posh nightclub in Waterloo. Also, the Miss Africa America pageant has ended on Saturday, 11th of November at Las Vegas, where the Sierra Leonean Geneva Wanja Sako has emerged as the winner of Miss Africa America 2018. Well, for more on these stories, let's join our entertainment producer, Mohamed Kemil Mbangura.
The rural entertainment icons and the Watlaw Union held a unity consultative conference on Sunday, the 11th of November at the Medposh nightclub in Watlaw. In his opening remarks, the chairman for the conference, a popular disc jockey, DJ Zico, said he appreciated the organizers for the conference and urged entertainers in the rural area to be united. The Secretary General for the Rural Entertainment Icons, Mr. Kamara, said the entertainers in the rural area should follow the 3 P's in entertainment, that's professionalism, prosperity, and personality. He said the rural entertainers can be millionaires in their community without going out to the urban areas. He assured them that 2023, entertainers from the rural area will have everything it takes to produce quality songs and movies. On the aspect of promoting the artists in the rural area, the president for the Waterloo Artists Union, Slim the Coolest, appealed to the artists for unity amongst one another and applauded the organizer for short conference. Honorable Eustace King, the honorable representing the rural district, said he has been a performing artist since he was in class 3 and has performed and organized great shows in and out of the rural district. He said he has interest in the entertainers of his constituency and vowed to do his best in promoting them. He also pleaded to the musicians to stop composing songs that have negative meanings, as he is their #1 critic. He urged the musicians, movie maker, actors, and dancers to be supportive of each other, as he vowed his total support in boosting the entertainment industry in this constituency. Other speakers in the entertainment industry contributed, and they all spoke with one voice in supporting the idea of the rural entertainment icons in organizing their first ever Unity and Peace Consultative Conference in the rural area, and advocated for peace amongst the entertainers. The guest speaker, John Conte of Air Radio, spoke on how entertainers should plan their work. He urged them to construct themselves for the outside world to accept their work. He expressed optimism for progress in the near future. He pledged his station Air Radio's support to help promote songs by them by giving them continuous airplay. He threw a challenge to them in the form of a question: what do you do with your talent? Mohammed King Milan Bangua also pledged his station SLBC support in promoting all positive moral songs released by musicians from the rural area. The conference climaxed with a launching of a live musical concert show titled Say No to Drugs and Say Yes to Book and Pen. The lead artist for this concert is Sierra Leone's hottest female dancehall rapper Star Zizi, and it's also a nationwide campaign concert that starts in the rural area. Meanwhile, the Miss Africa America pageant has ended on Saturday, 11th November at Las Vegas, and our Sierra Leonean sister and daughter, Jennifer Wanja Sako, emerged as the winner for this year's Miss Africa America 2018. The Miss Africa America was founded on the 2nd of June 2016 with the purpose of giving young African ladies living in America a platform to showcase not only their beauty but also their culture and humanitarian platform as they pave the way for the next generation. Miss Africa America Jennifer Wanja Sako expressed his thanks and appreciation to the general public of Sierra Leone for their support and promised to carry the crown with pride. She will soon come to Sierra Leone to work on a project in the country.
Well, thanks to King Milan for that entertainment. But before we go, here is a release from the Clerk of the Office of Parliament. The Office of the Clerk of Parliament is requesting all vote controllers, directors and accountants of ministries, departments and agencies of government to witness the ongoing parliamentary debates on the 2019 national budget at 10 a.m. in the Chamber of Parliament. In light of the above, the Office of the Clerk of Parliament is keeping record of an attendance register in order to track MDs that are non-compliant for subsequent parliamentary action to be taken against them. Therefore, officials from ministries, departments and agencies are required to witness the ongoing debate on the 2019 national budget by signing the attendance register. Members of the general public are also invited to attend and on time. That's it. Well, now to end the news, here again are the main points. President Bio has commissioned road projects at Lumley and Regent. Parliamentary debate on 2019 budget has commenced. SLBC has looked at water scarcity in the central business districts of Freetown. Rainbow Center has been opened in Makeni to help address mainly sexual abuse cases in that part of the country. That's all in this edition of Newshour. Thanks for the production team. On behalf of all of us, I'm Asmiba. Goodbye.